Previously on Redacted.
Postmortem incident report regarding the aberration known as the Shoeless Man. True members in attendance, Eli Reyes. Meeting recording by Public Relations Agent Sloan Summers. Good afternoon, Agent Reyes.
Afternoon.
Did you have a nice lunch?
Yeah. I guess. Nothing crazy, just a sandwich. I guess.
Amazing. Well, apologies for cutting that wonderful sounding lunch short. The black box is reserved at 1300 and the mezzanine hates delays, so time is of the essence. With that, would you please begin filling us in on what True knows about the aberration in question? Honestly, we'd be happy to hear any theories that you and your team have devised.
Sure. So a recently reported murder got the attention of my unit due to its similarities of previous cases related to the Shoeless Man, namely the murder weapon being a set of shoelaces and no reported sign of forced entry to the victim's home. While my unit has a history with this aberration, we aren't certain what attracts the Shoeless Man in the first place. Our running theories include walking inside with dirty shoes, sleeping with shoes on, keeping unmatched shoes by the door, not putting shoes away neatly when you get home, donating shoes without cleaning them first, and keeping old shoes you no longer wear. Basically, just disrespecting shoes in any way. Well, actually, Lucas did have a theory. It involved drinking broth without bread and beating your kids, but then we realized that's just the old woman who lived in a shoe, so probably not that, and also still involves a shoe. So, there was one haunt where we noticed a pair of Converse had been thrown over some phone lines that connected to a home. That could be that.
I always wondered what the deal was with shoes on phone lines. Waste of perfectly good shoes.
Yeah, and that was a messy case. Okay, now, here's what we do know for sure. The aberration utilizes a pair of Oxford shoes to anchor itself to a home. If you see the shoes, it means it's marked a target. At this stage, the haunt can be canceled by turning on all the lights in the house or otherwise exposing every room to a light source. This effectively cancels the haunt and causes the shoes to vanish. Targeted homeowners have reported hearing disembodied whispers, typically their own name. At this stage, the haunt has progressed too far to be stopped, and the target has two options if they wish to survive. Either leave the house until daybreak, or place the shoes inside a different residence, effectively redirecting the haunt to other homeowners. Considering our previous failed containment attempts, we tried a new strategy by making ourselves his target in a controlled containment site. In this case, we used the previous victim's home. Agent Kane and I set up surveillance throughout the house while Agent Hawkstotter and Clark canvassed door to door, looking for evidence of a haunt in progress. They were successful. The Shoeless Man's signature black loafers were located and transported to the containment site, re-triggering the haunt with us inside, totally on purpose. Shortly thereafter, the Shoeless Man appeared and targeted Agent Kane. Agent Clark then submerged the loafers in Agent Hawkstotter's makeshift containment device, which fully defecated.
What?
Oh, God, no, sorry. Desiccated. Fully desiccated the Shoeless Man.
Well, that's better, I guess.
Yeah. At this time, the Oxfords and the remains of the aberration were packaged and delivered to Curtin personnel for continued research. Unless advised otherwise, we're considering the aberration terminated.
No, I think that's a safe assumption, given that all that's left of the Shoeless Man is a pile of dust and ash. Dr. Dance is still researching what limited samples your unit handed over, just to be safe. All in all, the Shoeless Man shares the qualities of most apparitional type aberrations, something like ATPSC 0034, for example.
Sorry, which aberration is that again?
Its colloquial name is Bloody Mary.
Oh, right. I guess I don't see the similarities.
Well, both use mundane household items as either an anchor or conduit to our plane. I'm sure Dr. Dance would have a field day comparing the aberrant properties of the shoes in the mirror. I guess loafers can be shiny, like a mirror.
Sure.
Were the loafers shiny, Agent Reyes?
No, not really. I guess maybe a little. Not like patent leather, though.
I guess if we're looking for other similarities, summoning the Shoeless Man does feel like some kind of game kids would play at a slumber party, if that's anything. Not that I have much experience with that. Sleepovers were frivolous anyway. Have these aberrant events occurred at children's parties? Any child victims?
Are you? Oh, no. Also, no. No to that. No.
I see. I feel like we might have lost the plot here. We can move on. So, now, in your report, I see that a civilian reported hearing whispers inside his home, presumably from the Shoeless Man, and that Agent Clark here advised him that the whispers were in fact a hallucination caused by a gas leak?
Yes, that's correct.
Was this gas leak explanation a coordinated decision by your unit?
Coordinated? Not exactly. I mean, sometimes civilians have close calls and we need to give them something to de-escalate the situation.
I see.
Right?
Please inform Agent Clark, as well as the rest of your unit, that these kinds of on-the-fly explanations are ill-advised.
How do you mean?
When your people start improvising cover stories for aberrant activity, things get messy fast. One witness hears about a gas leak, another hears about electrical fire, and suddenly we've got conflicting reports all over the place. That's a nightmare to clean up, Agent Reyes. Lots of work for me, lots of work for my team. Keep the explanations consistent, or better yet, let us handle it.
Understood. I'll tell them.
Perfect. I'm glad we understand each other. Now, let's see. Normally, I would just pin these deaths on some invented serial killer, but historically speaking, unfortunately, serial killers using gas in their MO are exceedingly rare. Unless... okay. A serial killer who uses a mixture of different household chemicals not as a means to an end, poisoning their victims, but rather as a means to disorient them first. And our victims just happened to be far enough away from the source that it didn't click. Okay. Oh, Agent Reyes, you're dismissed. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, you're welcome. Bye. Thank you for listening to another episode of Redacted Postmortem, starring Lyssa J. as Summer Sloan and Athan as Eli Reyes. For important links, visit theredactedunit.com for episode details and transcripts, or visit patreon.com/The Redacted Unit for audience-directed voting, behind-the-scenes content, and more. Consider giving us 5 stars if you like the show, comment on the platform of your choice, and we hope to see you on the next episode of Redacted. Thanks for listening.